Hello everyone, it's Real Marvel here, and today I'll be ranking every single challenge from TPICR Season 1 from worst to best. The only reason I'm doing this is because, well, Season 2 is about to end, and I want to look back at Season 1 to see how good or bad challenges were. Well, let's start with number 15, which I find to be Challenge 6, Don't Feast Too Much, for the simple reason that this challenge pretty much ended as luck. Like, it's pretty much the only time I'm just gonna straight up admit a challenge was purely luck. However, a challenge that got very close to pretty much being completely luck was Challenge 8, Avoid the Landmines. I think this was like meant to, get social stuff going, but it didn't. So, it pretty much ended as luck. Very funny. So, yeah, absolutely genius. Anyways, then challenge 13 is the first challenge I ever did. The MJPJ 189 test. Like, this challenge is bad because the quiz was really badly set up. Like, complete garbage. It's like 10 questions, but barely anyone got anything, and the questions were way too hard, and some of them were straight up bad. So, yeah. I did some later quiz challenges. They were all better. Those were what I would call the straight up bad challenges. But then we got to number 12, which is Challenge 10, Bad Skinning, which is not exactly bad, but it's just a stupid challenge. Mostly because, well, it's linked to a game that, well, at the time I barely even played, so funny. And more importantly, barely anyone knew about. Yeah, that's not a very good idea to do as a challenge, which is why this is here. Then, we're on to number 11, which I would say is Challenge 13 Splitter Steel. This challenge was not exactly balanced the best, but more importantly, it is really generic. And something I wouldn't do nowadays because I don't want to do generic ass challenges. There's sometimes to do some generic challenges, but I don't really want to do something this generic anymore. Now, for number 10, it's Challenge 4 Replica. Like, this challenge needed a version 2 after it was done, especially considering how bad the grading was. Like, I eventually did a V2, which I like a lot more, and also this challenge was a bit too hard, maybe. So that's why the V2 only had 2. Actually, it was 3, then we're used to 2. Yeah. However, let's go to number 9 then, which is Challenge 7 Inventing Shapes, which is a bit memey, but it wasn't bad, though the entries ended up being not very good. But at least it wasn't generic as hell. That's something. Now, next up we got number 8, which is pretty much your average, which is Challenge 11 Minesweeper. It's a game challenge. That's really all I need to say. I mean, it's just a bit too hard because I didn't realize people suck. I probably should have realized people suck. But yeah, pretty much that. Now, for number 7, Challenge 5, the Express Special. This challenge was definitely better executed than the Inventing Shapes one, but it's much more generic, which is why it's only barely ahead because it ended up way better. Though, yeah, I didn't do Christmas Special Challenge in Season 2 because I couldn't be bothered and genuinely forgot. So, very funny. But then, Challenge 6, number 6, is Challenge 15, the final Gauntlet. This worked, but it was a bit too toughening for our 2 finalists. And also, yeah, this is kind of generic for a finale, but honestly, if no better ideas, so yeah, let's just go to challenge That's number 5. Which is challenge 9, just on time. Like, this challenge is silly, but at the same time, it worked! Surprisingly, despite being as simple as getting on the right time, timing it exactly correctly, and DMing me something without making an error. It's so simple, yet it somehow worked. Anyways, number 4 is challenge 14. Like, this challenge really had their contestants dig into their entire game plan, which is nice. And it really challenged them, while not being downright stupid. Yeah, I like this challenge. Though, yeah, it was not a limb, oof, whatever. That has nothing to do with the challenge in itself. Anyways, now we're on to the top 3. In 3rd place, Bane. Challenge 12, protecting the islands. Yes, the challenge did get cancelled. However, like, the first 2 entries I got were actually good. And secondly, yeah, this was literally the only challenge to feature any kind of plot, so it was kind of a joke originally before being expanded into the Season 2 plot. Oops. Kind of unfortunate this ended up getting cancelled, but yeah, stuff sometimes happens, and I bothered to do the different stuff, so yeah. Let's go to number 2, which is challenge 2, race across islands. Now this challenge, for being literally the second challenge I ever did, was actually kind of good. It's like scenario based, and half the contestants didn't even do the second part of the challenge, but it worked very well. And this early on, something simple as this just works. Now, if you've been counting, it's pretty obvious what number 1 is. Challenge 3, Swords and Shields. Like, this challenge might be just glorified dodgeball, but it just works with all the restrictions and you having to tactically plan it with your entire team. It can be a pretty good social challenge. While you may lose to luck, you may also beat your opponent fair and square. This was the other challenge that got V2'd, but not V2'd because it needed a better version. This just got V2'd because it was so good already, and it also worked in Season 2. And the teams ended up tying that second season, so it wasn't a massacre. However, the only bad thing about this challenge was that someone literally rage quit about it. Read the rules, Marty. Anyways, that's it for this video. And goodbye!